Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Friday, March 4th, 2022. TikTok may be one of the most popular apps for young people, but there is still an increasing concern that it may be harmful. Julian has that report.
TikTok is one of the most used apps of today's time, but that doesn't mean it's safe from investigations by states on how it affects young people and minors. The New Jersey Attorney General said on Wednesday that his office will co-lead the inquiry into whether the popular app is violating consumer protection laws by introducing young people and minors into the risk of mental and physical harm. Other attorney generals from other states investigating TikTok are California, Florida, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Nebraska, Tennessee, and Vermont, the same group that investigated Instagram's alleged harm to minors. Blackkin said if social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram are violating our laws and exposing young users to psychological and physical harm, we will hold them accountable. A spokesperson from TikTok said that TikTok would cooperate with the investigation.
Changes continue to come to New Jersey as the problems of the pandemic seem to be fading away. So now, 2 more New Jersey colleges have decided to end their mask mandates. Let's go to Callie for the details.
The College of New Jersey, TCNJ, will lift its general mask mandate for students and employees on March 12th. But anyone on any campus who wishes to wear one will be encouraged to do so, the school's president, Catherine A. Foster, said. Despite the removal of the campus-wide mask mandate, it may still be appropriate for a mask mandate to apply in certain circumstances, Foster said in a statement. Rider University will end its mask mandate on March 5th, university officials announced Thursday. After March 5th, students and employees will only be required to wear masks indoors for a few special scenarios. When they are at the Student Health Center during days 6 through 10 following quarantine or isolation, and for the period of 10 days following exposure for close contacts who are not required to quarantine, officials said. The university also announced that proof of full COVID-19 vaccination will be required for students once again for the 2022-2023 academic year, except for those who are in fully online degree programs or who are granted medical or religious exemptions.
Now it's time for announcements. Our club is canceled today after school. We will be back next Friday. RPHS track meeting, Monday, March 7th at 3:40 p.m. in the student cafeteria. See Mrs. Martinez for any questions. Yearbook ads are on sale for the class of 2022. See Mr. Fucci with any questions. Job opportunities. Joe's Rotisseria is hiring dishwashers and someone to answer the phone and take offers. Please call Joan at 917-669-7636 for more info or apply in person at 547 Westfield Avenue, Roselle Park. The Community Methodist Church is Roselle Park is looking for a computer-savvy student to assist with updating their church website. The student will be compensated. For information, reach out to Mrs. Woodruff at 908-358-2048. A local senior citizen is looking for a student, preferably female/bilingual, to teach her basic computer skills. Interested students, please talk to your guidance counselor. The Multicultural Fashion Show is set for Wednesday, April 6th at 4:30 p.m. There will be dancing, food, and other fun activities, so get yourself ready for have a great time. Chorus Club will hold its next meeting on Tuesday, March 15th at 3 p.m. in the Music Room, Room 22. New members are welcome. For more information, contact Mr. Wachowski. The Ecology Club will be collecting old mascara wands. A collection box will be placed in the office. They'll also be collecting the disposable contact plastic packets and used contacts for recycling. Thank you for making the earth a cleaner place, and remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Our final story this morning is a bit of good news for everyone in Union County. Let's go back to Julian for the details.
The Union County Board of Commission invites residents to a sensory-friendly production hosted by Outrageous. The show will take place at 1 p.m. on Sunday, March 13th at the Union County Performing Arts Center, located at 1601 Irving Street in Rahway. All tickets are $8 per person and must be purchased beforehand. To buy tickets online, you can go to the website ucpac.org. You can also call 732-499-8226 to buy the tickets in advance. Outrageous is a group of artists, singers, dancers, and musicians from New Mexico. They use their skills to show a message about art and the human experience. The COVID-19 safety regulations are still in effect for all performances at UCPAC. People who will be coming to the production are advised to check for updates before arriving at the theater. The sensory-friendly theater series showcases live performances in a welcoming, judgment-free environment for children with autism and other sensory sensitivities. Upcoming shows are Pete the Cat on April 24th in partnership with Rahway Mayor Ray Giacobbe and City of Rahway, and the classic ballet Cinderella on May 7th. To learn more about the production, don't forget to check the website ucpac.org.
Stay tuned. We will be right back. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl Azus, welcoming viewers worldwide to CNN 10. Before Russia invaded the neighboring country of Ukraine, inflation in the United States was at its highest level in decades. This is when prices go up and the dollar buys less. And now, a week after the war began, the skyrocketing price of oil is expected to drive inflation even higher. It's not just about higher gasoline prices, though crude oil is the biggest factor in those. They've increased 7 cents per gallon over the past week and are expected to get more expensive. This could increase the cost of travel as jet fuel prices rise. It could increase the cost of transporting the food and goods we buy. There are countless products made from petroleum, things like ink, tires, tape, toothpaste, glasses, vitamins, soap, anything plastic. All of them could get more expensive. One controversial part of the sanctions, the international penalties placed on Russia's economy, is that they don't include a ban on Russian oil, at least not yet. Russia is one of the biggest suppliers of the world's oil. It's an important part of the Russian economy. Sanctions on that could seriously damage that economy. But they could also increase inflation for the countries that buy that oil from Russia, and those include the United States. Still, there's a bipartisan effort in the U.S. Congress to ban oil imports from Russia, and if that happens, some lawmakers have proposed suspending a federal gasoline tax to help slow down the rise in prices. In explaining the reasons behind the Russian invasion, we've talked about how Russia's government wants to limit Western influence near its western border. We've talked about how Russian President Vladimir Putin has been fiercely criticized and accused of trying to illegally redraw the borders of Europe to make Russia's position more powerful. But experts say there's more to the invasion than borders and influence.
To better understand the tensions between NATO and Russia over Ukraine, it's worth a glance at history and a good look at a map. In the Cold War, Europe was split more or less in two. The NATO countries in the west, Warsaw Pact under Moscow's dominance in the east. But post-Cold War, country after country wanted to join NATO, and it's moved up to Russia's borders. To understand why Russia feels nervous about that, a topographical map is useful. There's a mountain range running across Europe, the Carpathian Mountains. Now from the Baltic Sea here to where the Carpathians start there, this is flat ground. And through that flat ground have come Napoleon and the French, Hitler and the Germans, and many others who've invaded Russia from that direction. And that makes Russia very nervous. Therefore, it seeks to either plug that gap by occupying it, or if not, where the ground opens up into flat ground, it wants to, at the very least, dominate it. In 2014, its reaction was to occupy and then annex Crimea, part of Ukraine, and its warm water port of Sebastopol, which gives the Russian fleet access out of the Black Sea into the Mediterranean, and from there onto the great ocean lanes of the world. It also fomented civil war in the Donbass region in order to create a small mini buffer zone. To understand Russia's strategy towards Ukraine, it's not just about the military aspects and the political aspects. It's important to understand the place that Ukraine has in Russia's heart, or in its psychology. Russian culture began in Kiev, and it's where what eventually became Russia was founded. I mean, it moved eastwards across to Moscow, but they still know in their collective imagination that the root of their culture is in the heart of Ukraine. And Putin wrote an essay pretty much about this, in which he doesn't recognize these lines on the map, these borders, because as far as he's concerned, Ukraine is part of Mother Russia. And that is a psychology that goes quite deep into the Russian collective memory. Large parts of the country are Russian speaking, there's the Slavic connection, and there's also the fact that many people are Russian Orthodox in their religious belief. So while of course great power politics and Russia's position vis-a-vis Western Europe, NATO, the Americans and all the rest of it comes into this, this is from the heart, and it actually does play a role in Russian thinking.
10-second trivia. What has the greatest influence on the tides of the oceans? The seasons, the sun, the moon, or gyres? The gravitational pull of the moon is responsible for Earth's high and low tides. For the first time, as far as scientists know, a chunk of man-made junk has gone thunk, unintentionally, on the surface of the moon. The rubble that caused trouble is believed to have been spinning around in space for more than 7 years. Experts estimated the trash would smash into the moon at 5,500 miles per hour, its bash creating a flash, the bust causing dust and debris to blow out for hundreds of kilometers. But unfortunately, people couldn't see it. The impact was expected to take place on the far side of the moon, which is hidden from telescopes. Astronomers have said space agencies like NASA need to do more to monitor pieces of deep space junk like this. Who identified it in the first place?
When I looked closer, I saw that it was going to hit the moon. This particular piece of junk happened to have a fairly close flyby the moon. Afterwards, when it was observed, I updated its orbit and ran into a problem. The software basically objected to it, and when I looked closer, I saw that it was because on March 4th, at a little bit after noon Greenwich time, it was going to hit the moon. There are about maybe a dozen or 2 dozen pieces of junk that I keep track of that are in unusually high orbits for space junk. As far as I know, I am the only person who's keeping an eye on these objects. But I've sort of been hoping for one to hit the moon, because if it hits the moon, you get a crater and you learn something from it. If it hits the Earth, you don't learn anything, and if it goes into orbit around the sun, it's just gone. This is the preferred outcome. And yeah, I was quite happy when I figured out that that was going to happen. Major thing that we'll wind up getting is a very nice fresh impact crater. It will turn up a little bit of lunar soil from underneath, probably a meter or 2 down, in a part of the moon that we currently don't know very much about. If you're going to hit the moon, it should be with something that is biologically fairly sterile, because usually there's an effort not to contaminate the moon. There are different arguments as to where that junk should go, but having a plan for it rather than just leaving it floating around at random would probably be a good idea.
A lot of folks want to get giant at the gym, but if you're talking about a high bar giant in gymnastics, you're talking about this. And you're looking at the man who holds the Guinness World Record for the most done at one time. A high bar giant is a full 360 with a slight pause at the top, and Roman Saragian of Armenia has been verified as the reigning champ. Over a time of 28 minutes, he completed 1,001 rotations. To say that sets a new high bar is kind of low-hanging fruit. But if anyone ever told that dude to get a grip, hold on, hold tight, hold the line, hang out, reach for the sky, put your hands up, go for a spin, swing back around, circle back, or come back later, well, they might have been thrown for a loop when they saw him flip out. Fridays are awesome. Today's shout-out takes us to Shaw Memorial High School. Want to give a big hello to our viewers watching from Madison, Indiana. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.